Welcome to my channel, Wing Spiritual Clarity. My name's Wendy Wing. I'm going to be doing a reading for the collective. Welcome, collective. All right. So since this is a general reading where I tune into general energies, I'm not tuning into one person's specific energies. So take what resonates and leave the rest. If you would like a reading where I tune into your specific energies, the link to schedule your appointment is in the description box below. So, collective. In the past, you were in the energy of Six of Cups. Six of Cups talks about nostalgia, something innocent. In the past, you were stuck in the past, or that's what it feels like. There was, what I'm getting is in the past, you were stuck in a cycle that created a lot of exhaustion, and it destroyed your confidence. It looks like you were connected with someone who had kind of a ruthless person, and it feels like something very karmic, where you needed to learn the lesson of where real confidence comes from within. And there was someone who is very controlling and impulsive and ruthless. I get the feeling like they made you feel like not enough, and you had a lot of insecurities. And so I'm hearing, what a perfect match. And so it feels a bit codependent here. So let's look at your current energies. You are in Five of Cups, emotional loss. So Five of Cups talks about in grief over what wasn't there. I get the feeling in the past, in this Six of Cups energy in your past with this person, that that you were trying to heal a cycle from your childhood. You kind of recreated aspects from your childhood that were unhealed. And now in present time, even though there's a grief of seeing things for how they truly are. There's also something really interesting. There's something about moving on, about not noticing what you do have. And so in current time, it looks like you're surrendering and letting go of this. You see very clearly, what was happening. You see this person in your past that you were with, or who was this ruthless type of person in your past that made you feel not enough. Feels like they took advantage of your not healing, and you just dove into another cycle of someone who makes you not feel like enough. And in present time, you've got this new perspective. You're seeing yourself clearly. You're seeing this cycle very clearly. And it's really created a space for you to take care of yourself in a step up into your power and step into your power. Take your power back. Take care of yourself. That you're seeing that you've been maybe in connections where there was a lot of strings attached, where people gave you very little and you gave a lot. And then they made you feel like that's not enough. And so you gave more. There's a lot of not giving to yourself, not giving to yourself first. This might be how you were raised. Yeah. It looks like you're learning that not healing from past traumas makes you ripe for emotional manipulation. For those who would take advantage of people like you who are unhealed. So a family pattern that you have is passions ignited. Family pattern. Okay. I'm getting that in your family, there's a pattern of more of sexual connections that might have been more lustful, and maybe with your, it's hard to imagine like grandparents and this going on, but it feels like more shallow connections based on attraction. And then what happens is, since they are more shallow connections, not heart-based, but on desire, that eventually that desire starts to burn out, and there's nothing loving and caring like a deep, solid connection. And so it feels like there's a lot of infidelity in your family. People getting tired of and stepping out, not knowing how to, thinking, oh, this is love, this amazing infatuation, this amazing desire. And then trying to maintain that level of desire without understanding how to build a strong foundation built on a loving connection. So personal issues that you might be having is Tower. Personal issues. Oh, okay. Okay. Personal issue that you have is when they're in connections, when there's disharmony and imbalance and suffering, that it feels like it's your fault. And I get that the people you might be connected with also see it as all your fault. And anytime there's a connection between two people, it's a co-creative experience. So it's a 50-50 experience. And it seems like for some of you, it seems like there have always been connections. There's always been, like I don't have value, or oftentimes I don't have value unless I'm in partnership. I need someone else. And it it comes from a need instead of I want to be with this person. And so it feels like it's more out of coming from a lack space or a needy space um, instead of being able to do those things on your own. I'm also getting that when you're attracted to someone, you're attracted to someone who has qualities that you do not have. And so you end up depending on that person instead of learning how to embody those qualities. So, all right. Your conscience right now is at 5 of Swords, conflict and defeat. Your conscience is what you would do, what your thoughts. And I love that it's a sword. There's a part of you who really feels this conflict with someone who's been domineering and controlling, someone who might have been juggling you. My question is, so if that resonates, having this win at any cost with someone who's domineering and who's been has a lack of balance and is overcommitted and not giving to the connection, is why you believe that that was okay for someone to treat you that way. Maybe that's part of the childhood family patterns that have gone on. Maybe people growing up not treating you well taught you that people who are closest to you take advantage of you and don't care. And so it feels like what you're wanting to heal is that childhood wound, so you don't keep attracting people. Not all people are like this. It might feel like that because the people you are attracted to are that other aspect of unhealed, someone who wants to take control. And maybe, so what I'm getting is that you might have a lot of empathy. You might be a very empathetic person, a lot of intuitive aspects, very caring. And what you attract are people who lack those aspects. They're not very empathetic. It feels like you communicate rather well and they don't communicate well, and maybe because they are domineering and controlling, they're really good at business and create a financial stability. And maybe that's something that you have missed. And so something like that, a mixture of things that created a codependent relationship instead of learning how to also be abundant, or then and embodying those things for yourself. It's finding someone and needing them, and you provided things for them that they lacked. What you desire, collective, is 5 Pentacles. Financial and material changes. So balance, giving and receiving. You're wanting an equal exchange. it seems like you stay in connections far too long, like just waiting and waiting. You are willing to stay in domestic disharmony for so long, like your tolerance level for it does feel related to a lack of confidence, and again, unhealed family traumas from childhood. You've been through so much in the past that you can tolerate a lot for a long time. You can tolerate people giving very little to you and accepting that as okay. It's like, this is what it's like to be in a relationship, a close relationship with people that who you love and you give energy to, as they don't give anything to you. It looks like you're changing this, you're shifting this, you're seeing this, and it's weighed you down and created a situation where you've lost yourself in relationships, an inability to because your tolerance level is so high, an inability to know your self-worth and value and believe that you can do better. It feels like, I'm so used to this. This is what relationships are like. So this is a relationship. This is what a relationship is. And that's not the truth. The truth is your lack of confidence, and lack of self-worth and self-value has kept you in these type of cycles. Your higher self is in the energy of Three of Wands, partnerships and alliances. This card feels like Three of Pentacles. Three of Wands energy to me, your higher self is saying, it's time to stop turning your back on yourself. It's time to stop turning your back on what you need, what your needs are. Your needs are being loved, being cared for, taking care of yourself, finding stability, finding abundance, finding what you want in your path. And as you start turning your back on and moving forward towards what is in your highest and greatest good, you will also start attracting different types of people who are that mirror, that reflection for a new belief that I am worthy of love and care and passion as well, and communication and honesty. So it's not that there aren't people out there that are able and capable. There are plenty of people out there who want a loving, stable, honest relationship. It's just that you didn't realize your value for so long that you were in that energy and exploring those lessons of what's it like to not value yourself. What's it like to not put yourself first? What's it like to give away your power to others? So they're really important lessons. And it feels like you've made huge shifts in how you see yourself. So you can have different types of relationships with people. Your challenge right now is accelerated motion. Your challenge is Eight of Wands. Okay. Your challenge is to let things change. Things are going to feel weird, feel uncomfortable even, because they're different. It will be very how different will it be instead of chasing after love and affection, and because you chase because you don't feel that you are enough. How different would that be to have a new love, a new people coming into your experience with offers of care and from the heart space, someone leading from the heart space instead of brown chicken, brown cow, which might be the typical way that from your family patterns, maybe a belief that, ooh, I'm getting that maybe you felt neglected growing up and uncared for. It just feels like there was a lack of care for you and neglect. At some point, you realized that you could get attention from the opposite sex, and you equated that with, finally someone's giving me attention and they want me, and to you that felt like love because you weren't getting any love or very little love and attention or affection or care growing up. So now your challenge is how to deal with how to react, how to respond, how to accept someone when they come to you in a very different way, who wants to get to know you, someone who values you, someone who appreciates you, someone who you feel emotionally satisfied around. It might feel very different. It might feel scary. It's a different type of approach because it's a different type of energy. It does feel stable. It feels satisfying. So I think a challenge is, you might not feel the same way you used to always feel, like passion first, fire first. And with the Eight of Wands, it does feel like this lesson is coming in quickly. Speaking of lessons, the lessons you are in right now is Two of Pentacles, movement, choices, and decisions. Your challenge right now is to find balance in your health, balance in your work, home. Find Two of Pentacles. Okay. Your lesson right now is to let the past go, to heal from it, to forgive and move on, to find your independence, move forward. It looks like you've got something that you're working on, something that you've put a lot of hard work into, and it feels like it's just taking a long time. And it does seem like the more you hold on to unhealed traumas from your childhood and this connection that's more present, then the more it slows down your ability to move forward. How do you let go? How do you heal? One way is, it's one thing to see the landscape clearly, see, oh my gosh, now I see this person accurately. I'm no longer kind of blinded and I see this person accurately. And it feels like that you might stay in that energy for a long time of, now I see you clearly, you did this to me, and keeping that. Whereas the next step is seeing, okay, I see them clearly, not happy about that. However, let's look at what I brought to the table. What in me allowed that to happen? What in me allowed this person to, how we co-created this? So taking responsibility for your part. I'm not necessarily saying that in childhood, but because I'm saying as an adult, it feels like, you just didn't see. And now you're seeing, what are you seeing about you that you can shift moving into the next relationships so you can heal and move on and leave that type of behavior behind. It feels like it's taking a while, but it feels like it's been going on for a long time, that this type of behavior has had a lot of momentum. And I'm also getting like, be gentle with yourself. These are core issues, and these also feel like issues that are generational, and as well as ancestral habits, ancestral patterns that you are releasing. And so bringing some friendliness to the whole thing. It's not about, oh my gosh, I'm such a bad person, I can't believe I accepted this type of behavior. You're like, yeah, well, I'm not that person anymore. I wouldn't accept that type of behavior now because I've grown. And bringing some compassion to you who was younger, who didn't know better. Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. And it's just that easy. I didn't know any better. And also bringing compassion into, think of all the hundreds of thousands of millions of people who are also still stuck in this type of cycle. And you don't want to judge them. You want them to find their lessons, and everybody's on a different timeline. There's no rush. You're an eternal being. And so, and this is huge lessons we're talking here. These are core issues. All right, the advice right now is Two of Cups. Spiritual union. Like minds. So your advice is to find people, okay, your advice is to find what your values are. What are my values? I've gone over this plenty of times. I now see who I was attracting and why I was attracting with where I was. Who do I want to be in relationship? What type of relationship? I want clear communication. I want reciprocity. I want love. Did I say communication? Honesty, vulnerability, intimacy, passion. Yes, passion's in there, but it was pretty far down on the list, making sure that there's a foundation of love and honesty to build on. There's some of you who really hold on to relationships. The advice is to look at attachment styles. You might have an insecure or anxious attachment style. The people that you are drawn to might be more in the avoidant attachment styles. Your advice is to, once you are a-okay with being on your own, to standing on your own, to being independent, to having everything that you need, then you can attract someone who also sees that within you. When you have a need, I need someone, I don't feel complete without someone, when there's that needy quality, that is when people who know how to manipulate come in. They can smell that neediness, like I'm getting the vision of like chumming the waters. Neediness is chum, and it just brings the sharks in because they know how to mirror to you a fulfillment of your needs. They're your Prince Charming, princess fulfillment, whatever. There's no gender in tarot, but they're someone who's coming in and it feels like they're fulfilling all your needs, and they might for a little bit. But it ends up just being a reflection. It's a way of pulling you in. So becoming independent. So you have secure attachments. So you realize that I'm valuable, I'm worthy, and I'm not going to chase anybody. If someone shows me who they are, I thank them and say good day. Not to try to change them and heal the connection and try to, because you need them, just letting them go is some of you might be staying in relationships because of financial concerns. You know, cohabitating together saves a lot of financial burdens. And so you might have stayed with someone who, or they might have stayed with you. It could go either way. And it feels like that might have been how there's something about that first chakra and not believing that maybe what I'm tuning into is there's an insecurity and instability from childhood in the home, and maybe even financial aspects. And it makes you believe that you can't find that stability. You can't create that stability by yourself, and that you need someone. And again, that neediness is bringing in, instead of learning how, I intend to learn how to find financial stability on my own. I intend to take care of myself on my own and learn how to feel safe by myself without needing someone else. Then you'll have others who are attracted to your ability for stability and security, and they'll want to amplify that instead of provide it for you because you can't provide it for yourself. Does that make sense? So what you're looking for, whoever this partner was, what is it? What are the qualities that made you need them? Be honest with yourself. Why you stayed in a situation that was unpleasant, whatever those needs are, learning how to provide those things for yourself. And then when someone new, whether this is friends or business or anybody else new coming in, will meet you at the new energy, which is, oh, this is a very stable and abundant person. They're very secure. They're confident. And I would like to amplify that. So you don't need them. You just enjoy the amplification of something that you already have. Hopefully that makes sense. The advice right now is to find your inner alignment, to not fear change. That's the fourth law of this universe is, one, we exist. Once you exist, you can't unexist. You are consciousness, you exist. You might exist in different forms. And right now we're having a very finite experience here in the 3D, but we are an infinite being. Our consciousness will continue on. Second law is that we are all extensions of source. So we are all parts of extensions of source, experiencing source from a different point of view. Third law is karma. Whatever you put out, you get back. So karma isn't always bad, but whatever it is that you put out, you get back as a reflection, as a way to see clearly what you're putting out so you can see what you're getting back. And then the fourth is that everything changes except the first three laws. So everything changes. And I get the feeling that trying to keep relationships permanent that weren't meant to be permanent might be also a part of a belief that you might want to look at. That I have to keep people around me who don't have my highest and greatest good because they might have a title like a family member or a wife or husband. And instead, what I'm getting is if you put yourself first and let go of and titles and structures, beliefs that say, well, I don't want this person, but I have to allow this person in my life because they're this person to me. I'm getting just like, really? Do you? Right now, there might be a lot of moodiness, a lot of a lack of feeling that there's anybody out there because there's just been so much disappointment. And it's okay. Like, feel whatever you're feeling at the time. Allow those feelings. It feels like a lot of unfelt emotions, maybe repressed emotions going on. And so dropping the storyline and just feeling, just allowing yourself to feel these emotions and, feel that disappointment. Disappointment is just such a mixture of fear and lies and sadness and grief and frustration. And there's even like, I feel like a layer of rage, like realizing, once you realize your value and your worth, and then you look at how you allowed yourself to be treated, um, there's just levels and levels of disappointment with this person or people that you've gone through these cycles with, disappointment in yourself for not knowing better. Let's just allow those emotions to come in and work their way through you. Sometimes I find that expressing them in a healthy way is good. Artistically, like getting them out, painting or some kind of artistic expression of it, poetry, music, dance, something that allows you to feel those things that you have not, those really painful emotions, without getting them stuck and holding on to them, allowing them to flow through you and then releasing them, not carrying them with you to the next relationship, finding out how to have, to flow those emotions, to learn from what you've gone through and to move on. So, all right, this is your reading. Thank you so much for your time and energy. Take care. Bye.